Hello, I'm Anthony Hobbs, and this is my 5th Harry Potter review. This concerns Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Now, I distinctly remember in the year 2003 that the book version of this story came out, and there was a rumour that one of the lead characters is going to die. So it created all this excitement amongst Harry Potter fans. Who's going to die? Is it going to be one of the lead characters? Well, we know it's one of the lead characters, but is it going to be one of the big three? Will it be Hermione or Ron? Well, you had to read the book to find out. Or you could see the film, that's what I did, yeah. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. You see, I've only read the first 4 Harry Potter books. So when I saw this in the cinema, it was new territory. I genuinely didn't know what was going to happen, yeah. So, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, the movie version came out in 2007. And there's the prophecy orb thing there. And when Harry Potter finds that, it's a bit of a strange, mysterious prophecy, you know, it talks in riddles and stuff, but basically, from what you can make out, this evil magic is never going to end until one of us is dead, either Harry Potter or Voldemort, yeah. Until one of them is dead, the evil is never going to end, yeah, the evil magic. And, okay, let's start at the beginning. In the opening sequence, we see Dudley, Harry Potter's horrible cousin, who I didn't recognise at first, because we didn't see him in the previous film. And of course I didn't recognise him because he'd aged more, he'd grown up. Physically grown up, not mentally. No, he's still a horrible, horrendous bully that likes beating people up when he's got about 4 against 1, yes. However, in spite of all that, a Dementor wants to attack Dudley, and Harry Potter uses magic to save him. Because although Dudley's a horrendous bully, even he doesn't deserve a Dementor attack, yeah. And then gets into trouble because there's this rule, anyone under 17 is not allowed to use magic in the Muggle world, and there's a hearing, a court hearing and all that, this, that and the other, yeah. And, but what was he supposed to do? Just leave him to die, you know, yeah. Anyway, oh yes, and his Uncle Vernon is quite pleased at the possibility of that Harry Potter might not be able to go to Hogwarts again. He might be expelled. Why would that make Uncle Vernon happy? If he's expelled, that means he'll spend all his time in the Muggle world. You know? But bullies don't think that far ahead, do they? Anyway, Harry Potter, there's a hearing. He's let off because he had very good reason and everything. But that's not the big picture. No, the big picture is that Voldemort has returned. He's back from the dead, and he's meaner than ever, yeah. And Mad-Eye Moody, the real Mad-Eye Moody, not an imposter this time, he takes Harry Potter to London. And him and some other wizards, they all fly across the River Thames, because for more dramatic effect, you've got to fly across a famous location, yeah. And one of the wizards, I think she's a witch with pink hair. Is that the same actress that was in Game of Thrones? Yeah, that played like a wild woman or something. Well, anyway, possibly. Anyway, at the hearing, basically, Fudge, the man in charge of the Ministry of Magic, says that, no, he doesn't believe Voldemort has returned. Unless he physically sees Voldemort, he won't believe it. Or is it because he's in denial? He half believes it, but he thinks his responsibility is to stop a big panic going around, so the answer is just be in denial. Behave like this isn't happening. Yeah, some politicians have been known to do that. Anyway, Mad-Eye Moody takes Harry Potter to a secret location in London. It's these a whole block of houses joined together, and the two houses open up, and there's a secret magic section inside. But only wizards can enter. Yeah. So that's a new kind of magic trick we haven't seen before. Yes, they still have more tricks up their sleeves. So yes, it expands the story by showing us magic things we haven't seen yet, yeah. Well, speaking of things we haven't seen yet, once inside, yes, Harry Potter is reunited with his friends, but the grown-ups talk about stuff they're not allowed to hear. So, the 2 Weasley twins, so Ron's brothers, have a magic ear on the end of a string and dangle it down from a great height to listen into the room, to listen to what's going on, yeah. And that is true character, yes. The Weasley twins, they're quite mischievous, yes. And they know how to get hold of gadgets for useful things, a means to an end. Later on in the story, they have sweeties that can make you ill. So they use them on the caretaker so he can stop spying on the secret club, yeah. And also, for kids, willingly take them so they can be ill, so they don't have to attend lessons. They don't want to go in. So, yes, yeah. Now, Professor Umbridge, who has practically taken over, and then at the Hogwarts school, and then halfway through the film, she has taken over, yes. She's a very creepy lady, yeah. makes Harry Potter do these lines and slices the writing that makes his hands bleed. That is really dark, really creepy, a horrible punishment. Surely it's against the rules, yeah. But Harry Potter nevertheless decides to do nothing for now, because he thinks if I report, then I'll just get into trouble again for lying about Voldemort, even though I didn't lie. Yeah. But what is creepier? A Dementor, a creepy skeleton in a cloak, or a woman that does these horrible evil things and looks nauseatingly cute all the time? You know, I don't know which is creepier. Yeah, those two concepts are creepy, just in different ways. Yeah. Umbridge, she's always smiling in this really eerie sort of grin, and she has lots of cute pictures of kittens in her office and everything, spraying herself with perfume all the time. Yeah. When I first saw the film, I thought Umbridge was a secret agent working for Voldemort, and that's why she bans anyone to learn Defense Against the Dark Arts. After I'd seen the movie a few times, I realised that no, she genuinely is that naive. She genuinely thinks Voldemort hasn't come back from the dead, and that she genuinely believes she's not doing anything wrong. It makes Harry Potter write lines that I must not tell lies. Much, much later in the story, Umbridge is being kidnapped by a big giant and then later by some centaurs, and she says, Harry, stop them! Tell the centaurs I don't mean them any harm. And Harry says, I'm sorry, Professor, but I must not tell lies. So yes, back at you, back in your face, yeah. And I suppose I must mention the character Luna, the new character we see. Luna has bleach blonde hair, and she talks in a very eerie, mysterious way. I mean, most wizards talk mysteriously, but not as mysterious as this. She's very, very strange, yeah. And she's called Luna, and she can see those mysterious creatures that look like undead horses with bats' wings. She can see them, Harry Potter can see them, but the others can't. And Luna explains, don't worry, you're not going mad, you're just as sane as I am. And she reads a book upside down. It says, only people that have seen someone die can see them. So that's why only she and Harry Potter can see them, yeah. And there's a scene almost at the end when they've done the spectacular battle, fought off the forces of evil, and then Luna does a silly little aimless skip, a walk and a skip away, you know. She has a very casual attitude, a very relaxed view on things, even though there's mortal danger. But is that her way of coping with grief? Or the way of coping with danger, yeah. She has a relaxed view. Not because she's crazy, no, she has a relaxed view to stop herself getting too crazy, yeah, so different ways of coping with things, yeah. Harry Potter forms the Order of the Phoenix, which is a group of wizards that are trained to fight against the dark arts. Because as Hermione says, you have first-hand experience of this sort of thing. You're a great wizard that can fight evil. And Harry Potter is modest and says, well, not really. The only times I've beaten evil is when I had help from others or just by very good luck. So although I'm the teacher of this Order of the Phoenix, I still have much to learn myself. But he feels it's his responsibility. He knows Voldemort's out there, so they have to be ready for him when he comes to them, because Voldemort is preparing too. There's a war coming, yes. Not a full-scale national war, like a gang war, if you like, a good gang against an evil gang. A secret room that can only be entered through a magic portal in the school Hogwarts. Yes, he trains all the students that are willing to learn how to fight against the dark arts, yeah. And also he has a kiss with Chi Cho, I think she's called, the Scottish girl, so Harry's girlfriend. And they kiss underneath the mistletoe after a lesson. And then he tells his two friends, Ron and Hermione, about his kiss. And Ron is like, just a normal everyday thing, kissing a girl, so what, you know. Whereas Hermione sees it as much more emotional and dramatic than that. So yes, different views of that, yeah. And so yes, Harry Potter, we see magic tricks we haven't seen before. It expands the story, and it does a good job of continuing the saga, yes. There's a moving moment with Harry Potter and Sirius Black, where Sirius Black, he sees that Harry's worried about something, and Harry says, well, I have these horrible dreams when I'm fighting the evil wizard Voldemort, and I feel like I'm as evil as him. What's happening to me? Am I becoming like him? Am I becoming as evil like him? And Sirius says, no, you're not evil. You're not a bad person. You're a good person that bad things have happened to, which is not the same thing. We all have a bit of evil in us. It's just a question of how you fight against it, how you choose the right path, yeah. And The Ministry of Magic is in denial, denying eventually when Fudge physically sees Voldemort, then he believes it, but that's not till the end of the film. So before that, there's no magic to fight evil officially. It's going on unofficially, but not officially. So in other words, the grown-ups are stupider than the children. That's a theme that we have in the previous films, yes. Stupid grown-ups, but the children know best. They know to do the right thing, so they learn their magic, how to fight evil, yes. And in a way, so in other words, the theme of ignoring your superiors and doing the right thing, Albus Dumbledore has to do that as well. His superiors are the Ministry of Magic. And they want to arrest him because they believe that he wants to take over the Ministry. Of course he doesn't. So he defies his superiors and turns into an engulf in flames and teleports out of there quickly, yes. Normally, of course, you must obey your superiors, but if your superiors are completely wrong, you have to make an exception to that rule, yeah. So yes, overall, The Order of the Phoenix, very enjoyable film, and it's sort of mirrored with something that happened about 30 years ago. Sirius Black, when he was about Harry's age, they had a group of wizards, an Order of the Phoenix, to fight the evil of Voldemort, yes. And Voldemort, the same thing's going to happen again 30 years later. So there's a link between this generation and the generation before them, yeah. And Harry Potter, when Albus Dumbledore's gone from the school, yes, of course, he has to form this Order of the Phoenix on his own. So yes, the Harry Potter stories are about growing up. There comes a certain time when you have to do something on your own. You haven't got help from anyone else, yeah. And then there's an epic battle against the Order of the Phoenix and Voldemort and his evil people he's released from Azkaban, yeah. So yes, it expands the story, and yes, Harry Potter still learning and still doing his best to do the right thing. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Hobbs, and I'm never bored.